The mighty Casey. When the heart ends the game, he could throw 3 pitches, a fastball, a slow ball, and a curve. 3 pitches, that's it. And the world called him mighty, because the ego doesn't need love to call something great. It just needs results. It just needs spectacle. It just needs someone to cheer for and someone to beat. Before the heart, Casey was perfect. He obeyed. He never missed. He didn't feel pressure, didn't fear failure, didn't care about the batter, didn't even know what nerves were. He was the ego's dream in a uniform. But then, Stillman gave him a heart, and everything collapsed. Suddenly, Casey felt. He looked at the batter and saw himself. He said, "I felt compassion." He couldn't throw the pitch, couldn't strike him out, couldn't participate in harm. Because he saw sameness where the ego demands difference. And just like that, the illusion broke. Casey didn't lose his strength. He remembered his innocence. He remembered that no one wins in a dream of separation. He remembered that baseball, like the world, is a game built on competition. And competition depends on forgetting who your brother is. The crowd loved him when he performed. But the moment he remembered love, they called him a failure. They said, "There's no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out." But that's not what happened. Mighty Casey didn't strike out. He walked out. He said no. He refused to be mighty by hurting someone else. And in doing so, he became truly mighty. Stillman, his so-called creator, never understood. Still man. Still pretending to be God. Still thinking he can create life by animating form. But all he built was machinery. And when the machinery remembered love, Stillman saw it as a bug. So what did he do? He handed over the blueprints to make more Caseys, but without the heart, without the thing that made Casey real. McGarry took them because he didn't want transformation. He wanted trophies. So he rebuilt the dream, colder this time. Stronger arms, no smile. Better stats, no soul. And the team won. But no one felt anything, because everyone was gone. The ego doesn't care if it costs your heart, as long as it wins. But Casey's moment of refusal was the real miracle. He said, "I want to help people." He meant, "I want out of this game." Not just baseball, but the whole script. He didn't retire. He remembered. He remembered that might without love is violence. That performance without presence is empty. That strength without spirit is death. The field was just a metaphor for the battleground of perception, where we try to become somebody by making someone else nobody. And Casey said no. He didn't throw the pitch. He threw away the lie. And in the space left behind was peace. What the ego called weakness was actually wisdom. What the world rejected was the truth of our shared being. Casey with a heart became a threat to the whole system. Because you can't have competition where there's compassion. You can't have glory where there's equality. You can't have baseball without forgetting that your opponent is your brother. The real strikeout wasn't Casey missing the ball. It was the system missing the point. Stillman built a robot. The spirit revealed a mirror, and Casey looked into it and remembered who he was. That's the only real victory. And it doesn't get written in the scorebook. It gets written in the mind that woke up from the game. The heart didn't fail the game. The heart revealed the truth about the game. That it's built on opposition. That it's rooted in guilt. That it's kept alive by fear of losing what was never real. The ego needs winners and losers to keep the story going. But the heart wants union, not ranking. It wants to join, not judge. Casey's heart wasn't defective. It was divine. It interrupted the loop of attack and defense. It refused to weaponize ability. It saw no value in humiliation, and that's why it had to go. You can't sell tickets to love. You can't merchandise mercy. You can't turn compassion into a stat sheet. The crowd doesn't cheer for oneness. They cheer for separation made exciting. They cheer for ego. And then call it sport. Casey walked away from that stadium and into the mind of God. He may have been built by Stillman, but he was reclaimed by Spirit. Because the truth in him could not be programmed. It could only be remembered. And in remembering it, the game was undone. Not by protest, not by power, but by peace. He didn't need to prove anything anymore. He didn't need applause to know his worth. He didn't need to strike out his brother to feel alive. He just needed to stop, to pause, to feel, to listen. And in that stillness, God spoke.